doing today? It's Maurice and Big Earl. Today's subject is talking about benefits from the government, such as food stamps and things of that nature. Through the past 2 weeks, we've been going around downtown and all throughout the city, basically talking to people, with asking them questions on where they stand and how they feel as if though about that situation, and do they like support it, are they with it, are they against it, and a little bit more like into like where they're from, their background, and the reason for them having that explanation of what they said. I'm gonna let you hear a few of the interviews that we did, and I hope you enjoy it. My name is Maurice Burns, and I'm from a local podcasting program at South Philadelphia High School for Sunrise. And you are?
My name's Alice Wells.
Alice Wells. I have a few questions for you today. I wanted to know, do you agree with benefits from the government, such as food stamps and stuff like that?
Sure.
Can you tell me your reason for agreeing with it?
Well, I think that it's that people need a safety net.
What do you mean by safety net?
A safety net is, everybody have times in their lives when things don't work out, when they lose their job or they can't get a job, and different economies make that harder, or different stages in your life, and or physical problems, and you need that safety net. And some people can rely on their families to do it, but some people's families are barely getting by themselves, or they have such big families they can't take care of everybody. So they need, and that's why we need that, because we're a society that cares about other people.
Okay.
And that's what I think. Do I think that sometimes people get it's a balancing act, because sometimes people get too used to it, and they forget that they don't try and be independent and do things on their own. And that's the flip side. It can be the bad side of food stamps and welfare. But I think so many people really benefit from it. A lot of successful people can look back to a time in their life when they needed that, and that was the safety net that caught them from living on the streets or having to do illegal things to get by, and I think it's really important.
All right. Do you believe that some people abuse the uses of welfare and food stamps?
I've heard of some. Yeah. I've heard of some. Sure.
All right. And what part of the city are you from?
I live in University City.
University City.
And I have friends who live in West Philly, South Philly, North Philly, Southwest Philly, and friends whose families use food stamps, and they, they fit both categories. The people for whom those food stamps really are important. It's so someone can go to school, for example, instead of staying home and working. That, because the food stamps are there, and that's really important. And then there's other people who are really good at working the system, and they give the rest of the people a bad name. And I guess I don't know how you get around that. And then in order to get around those people, the system makes up all these awkward and difficult hoops that people have to jump through to somehow prove that they're worthy or that they deserve it or something. And I think it's largely because of the people who are abusing the system that happens.
Yeah, people need it.
Why do you feel like people need it?
If someone is out of work, or if someone is falling hard on times and they're struggling, then I definitely agree that the government should help out, for people to get back on their feet, especially if they have a family of children or elderly.
Okay. Do you think that, like, some people that's receiving the benefits like food stamps that doesn't really deserve it?
Well, sure, I'm sure there's cases out there of people that don't use it to the best that it was intended for. However, that's what happens when you have a large government, and when the large government helping people out that struggle.
Okay. A few people that I interviewed earlier, they were saying how that a lot of people that they see that are on food stamps and stuff like that, they are the ones that is more so lazy. It's not really inspiring them to want to be better. So basically, they're accepting the food stamps, but they're not trying to work hard to basically get themselves out of that situation. How do you stand on that?
Well, I feel that there should be some kind of time limit or some kind of length of time, whether it's 6 months to a year, or whether they have to show someone in the government that they're looking for work or something else to help get them off government assistance.
All right.
Yeah.
Why?
Because it's better, like.
How is better? Say whatever you feel as though it comes to mind.
Because it help people out, like, when people don't got it, they could.
So why do you think they're in that situation where so that they don't have it?
Because they messed up, like, when they was younger, so they don't just might be poor or stuff, like, they need it. It's, like, nice for them to have.
All right. Do you agree that some people abuse the fact, the use of the food stamps?
Yeah. Because they cash them in and all that.
Cash them in? What that mean?
Like, they go to the stores and then they, like, certain stores let you, like, cash them in for money, and then they, like, probably buy drugs and stuff for them.
Yes I do.
Why?
Because some people actually need, their income doesn't allow them to buy food for their children or themselves. And I think it should go to people who actually need it.
So you agree with it, but do you agree that some people abuse the use of it?
Yes, I do believe some people abuse it. I'll give you one example. I was at the supermarket once. It was the day after Halloween, and a woman had a whole shopping cart full of half-price candy, and she paid it with it.
Food stamps?
With it, yeah.
All right. Why do you think that some people abuse the use of the food stamps?
Just because they can. They know the system, and it just gives them extra money.
All right. I interviewed people earlier. They said that they believe that food stamps should be have a time limit, like 6 months to a year, basically, to show the government that you're trying to better yourself, to basically so you will not be in the same situation, so that you would have to basically trying to get off your feet.
Yeah, I believe people should be working towards getting off food stamps. But I don't know about, it's hard to say what the time limit should be. Some person really might be trying and not be able to progress that much in 6 months. But I think there should be eventually a time limit on it.
All right. And also, do you think that it's fair that some people do not qualify for food stamps due to the fact that they worked hard and that it's coming out of their taxes?
You mean like some people complain like I shouldn't be paying for other people? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, I guess in that sense.
No, I don't think that's fair. I mean, everyone pays taxes to help other people out. Like those people, they might be in that situation someday themselves, and I think society agrees to pool our money and help the unfortunate people.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Why is it?
Because it's hard out here.
It's hard out here. What do you mean by that?
Struggling. People need food in their house. They can't finance for their family how they want, especially if they have.
Why do you think that most people struggle and stuff like that?
Most people struggle because they know that they can get the help, and they don't want to push themselves to go try to get a job.
So basically, do you think that it's basically like they live off of government? It's like they're not dedicating themselves and not inspiring themselves to want to become better.
As far as young people that's out here, that been out here since they was 14, they've been trying to get jobs and stuff, and been turned away because of their sexualities or whatever. So yeah, I think it's a good thing what they're doing.
Okay, all right, being so you believe that's a good thing, do you know right now that the government is trying to cut food stamps?
Yeah, I heard
what are you saying to that?
As far as where I stand at, I'm gonna be alright regardless. But as far as seeing other people struggle and stuff like that, it makes me feel down because I got a lot of people, friends and stuff that's out here that don't have anything, that nobody supports them and stuff like that.
All right, do you believe that some people abuse?
Yes.
Why?
Because people need assistance.
Some people
They can't afford it. Oh.
Any help? Why do you feel like? Why do you think they need assistance? Why do you think they're in a situation?
Maybe they didn't go to college. Maybe they have a developmental disability. Something like that. So they need the help.
Okay, do you agree that some people abuse the uses of food stamps and stuff like that?
Yes.
Why do you think they do such?
Because they know they can get it out of the way. So.
Okay, so do you, I spoke with a few people earlier, and they said that they think that food stamps should not be like a permanent thing. They said that they think that it should have like a time frame where so that you must show that you're trying to get yourself and better your situation. And if you're not doing so, then it's basically like you're using them. So they should discontinue. Do you agree with that?
Yes, but only at a certain point.
At a certain point in time, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Why is that you agree with that?
Because it's really a help to low-income families, and well, it's more of a help to me. Like, it's a help to me, and it's a help to low-income families, basically.
Low-income families. Why do you believe that some low-income families are in the position that they're in?
Because I feel like it's mostly minorities, so it's like the white government puts them in this position.
All right. So what do you mean by that? What puts you in the position, the white government?
They put it in a position where where they set it up where white people are basically rich all the time, and then black people are basically poor. They give no.
Everything's okay? I have a snippet.
Like, it's like taxes, you know, and it's like a lot of like in the neighborhoods, they raise like the income, you know, but they raise prices on like rent prices, so they'll push out black people and have more room for white people.
Do you think that it's not so much about race, but it's about how hard you work to get to where you are? Because you know there are some black people that it is not on that like their poverty level.
Right.
That's up there with the white people, and some may be Hispanic. But due to like from what we see, do you agree that some people abuse food stamps?
Of course.
And basically, I had interviewed some people earlier. They said that it doesn't really inspire some people to basically want to better themselves in their situation.
They don't better themselves because of food stamps. It just makes people. It's helpful when like you're in a bad situation, but at the same time, it gives you that thing to fall back on. Like you fall back on your food stamps. Oh well, I don't got money, but I got food stamps, so I could go buy this and that.
Okay, so do you agree that food stamps should not be something that's like permanent? Like, do you believe that it should have like a 6 months to a year process where it's like you gotta at least show to the people, to the government that you're trying to look for a job, you're trying to basically better your situation?
I feel like that would be a way to better, like, you know, that would be a way to better this. So I agree with that.
As of right now, the government is basically trying to cut food stamps. Where do you stand with that?
What do you mean?
They're trying to basically take food stamps away from you, take less than it, like basically cut it in half. Like if you receive $200, they may cut it down to $125, $150 or something of that sort.
I mean, I don't agree with it, but you know, the government is the government. They do what they want to do. But you know, everybody should have opportunity to eat.
All right. I spoke with a few people earlier about food stamps, and also last week. Something that they all brung up was basically that they believe that some people abuse it. Do you agree that some people abuse food stamps?
I mean, some people abuse it, but a lot of people need it when they got kids and families.
All right. So basically it's like a balance effect.
Yes.
Okay, and also they said that they believe that it should have like a time frame on it, where it's like you have like some time to basically try to better your situation, and if you feel as if you cannot basically show them that you're trying to better yourself and you're just living off the government, then basically it's like they should take from you because you're not trying to better yourself.
Well, I believe you should try to better yourself, but you know, everybody needs help. That's why you got friends and families, and the government can help out. Why not?
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Pretty good?
Yeah.
Why is that?
I mean, it helps with people that don't have it. So, I mean, you know, have it all like that much at home and stuff. So, I mean, to me, it helps. So.
All right. So, do you know at this moment that the government is trying to basically cut food stamps?
No, not really. I really don't know. We're not. So. I said I really don't know.
Well, basically, they're trying to cut food stamps and like take more from the people who do. Where do you stand in it?
I think that's a bad idea.
Why is that?
I mean, because some people are surviving off of it right now. So, I mean, if they take it, then they're taking out a lot of families' mouths.
Well, it depends on the benefits. Well, it depends on the benefits, you know, like there's a lot of people that, you know, where I grew up and they tend to abuse the system.
And where's that at?
Trenton, New Jersey, right across the bridge from there in Morrisville, Pennsylvania. But yeah, so it's really something, a balancing act. You know what I mean? There's on one hand you have people who really need the benefits, that really have children that could really, I mean, for lack of a better term, benefit from them. But then there's also people on the other side that they completely don't. They have no incentive to really better themselves because they are, you know, they're pretty much in a rut. I know a lot of people like that.
Okay, so how do you feel as if though, like, do you think that the people? Why do you feel like the people that take advantage of it takes advantage of it?
Simply because they could become complacent. You know, if all of your needs are met and you're not working, and you know you can just go down to the corner store and get whatever you need or whatever, then you know you basically have no reason to change your lifestyle, right? And you think about a lot of people that I know growing up, they, you know, from age 18 to 40, they've not grown. You know, I know so many people that are, you know, grown men that act like kids still because, you know, they have no reason to grow. They have no reason to change. If we're not changing, we're not living, right?
So basically, it's like the government and the people, they making it so much easier for them to not inspire them to better themselves?
Mm-hmm. At times, yes. But then, you know, there's a balancing act. You know, you don't want to take away all the benefits all out from under everybody because then people are going to be very hungry.
So do you think that is okay, but to a certain extent?
Mm-hmm. Just like everything, it's a balancing act. Everything in life is a balancing act. I mean, you know, I'm a small dude, a small man. I would like to put on some weight, but I'm not going to be shoveling down 6,000 calories a day because eventually I'm going to grow to be really huge and be real fat. I mean, everything is a balancing act. Everything in life is all about, you know, everything in moderation, if you ever heard that term.
So, someone I've interviewed earlier, they mentioned that they think that food stamps and stuff like that should have like a time frame to it, whereas though like you have like 6 months to a year to at least try to get a job and be able to provide the proof that you're trying to better your situation. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree with that pretty, you know, makes a lot of sense. Or even something like, you know, the government making a program just to pay people to dig holes and fill them up. If they're doing something, then they're at least doing something. You have a certain pride about the work that you're doing for money and that kind of thing, as opposed to somebody who does not have a job at all, or somebody who might go to other extracurricular activities for their money.
Thank you guys for listening. From our interviews, it shows that some people, well, most people are actually for food stamps. They agree that it is a good thing, but to a certain extent, and it depends on the way that the person is using it. But me personally, I feel as if though that I'm not the one that agrees with it. I'm not so much against it, but I just think that it's not really so like equal share, that the way that it's distributed out, opposed to the hard working one to the one that didn't work real hard. But that's just my personal opinion. But thank you for listening and have a nice day.